loves? Welcome to Hustle and Vibes. I'm your girl, Pink Vibes, and today I'm joined with Mr. J Success. How you doing, my brother?
What's going on? What's going on?
Pounded. How you feeling?
I'm good. I'm just sitting here and I'm looking and I'm like, man, my homie is interviewing me, man. So shout out to you.
Oh, that's love, bro. That's love. You know, you my man, 100 grand. Now, I know your story, and I know, the real you, but I feel like a lot of people out there, they just see the outcome and the end process of your hustle, right? So let's take them through the whole journey, okay? Before Jay was successful, I want to talk about little Jay. How were you as a kid?
I grew up on Schoolcraft in Detroit.
Okay.
That's like my earliest memories. And the first thing I remember doing was like going out and shoveling snow.
Nice.
And raking leaves. Like,
okay.
It's funny because I thought I was rich, like growing up in the hood. Like I didn't even know, that we was poor. I just, my mom, she did a great job of getting like bikes and just the
shout out
shit
to Mama's
that,
Success, man, for sure.
The shit that you need as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
But they opened a penny candy store, and for those of y'all that don't know what that is, it's like a store that sells like candy for a penny.
Okay.
And they had an arcade where they had like Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter, and that's when I knew like, I need a couple extra dollars because my father used to give us allowance, but as a kid, you go into the store, you going back, that's all you need to do. Play games, do your homework, go to the store and blow that shit. So I wanted like a little bit extra because I wanted to go up there and
splurge a little.
So, yeah,
right.
My little kid splurge.
Okay.
So I started shoveling snow and raking leaves.
Okay, so you always had that hustler mentality then.
Yeah. I just knew that was like the thing because we stayed by Rosedale Park. And we had like these big houses, and I don't know, like that's just what come to my mind first. Like I started in my neighborhood, and directly across the street was Rosedale Park, so I would start charging like $5 for the front, $5 for the back.
Okay.
And then that just gave me like extra money, so that's how I got started. That was the original like hustle, you know what I'm saying? That I started doing. So do I need to go a little bit?
No, that's enough.
That's
we
cool.
we know about Little J. We're gonna fast forward a little bit to Press Play.
Okay.
Now, Press Play was like super for the culture, man, especially if you're from Detroit, Michigan. Tell us a little bit of give us a little bit of backstory about Press Play.
Yeah, so first, shout out to all the artists, the hundreds of artists that I've worked with and still got relationships with from this company called Press Play that was really like super dope. Me and my boy Dame passed, so shout out to my man Dame and his family. Rest in peace to Dame. But Press Play is like a layered situation because in college I was selling CDs.
Okay.
Like that's where it started. Like I was selling CDs in college, and then after college I was working with this guy named Gennaro, and I seen like this wave when Wayne and a whole bunch of artists were selling mixtapes.
Right.
And I just didn't want to, like, I mastered really selling CDs to the point to where it just got tired, and I was like, I need to do something different because the money is good, but I just knew it wasn't the end, so I walked away from doing that, and I started working with Gennaro, and I seen like Wayne and people dropping mixtapes, and mixtapes started getting hot to where people was selling them boys. So when I finished school, I opened up a store, and Diddy had dropped this album called Press Play, and I just took I took that same hustle that I learned from just being on the streets, because I was on the streets before I went to the mall.
Okay.
And I wasn't on the streets like in the streets doing street shit, but on the streets like selling candy, selling CDs.
Right, legal hustling.
Legal
nothing
hustle
wrong
shit.
with it.
I took that same mentality to the mall because I just noticed like the people that was doing it, like Gennaro, he wasn't doing it right. It was a booth down the hall from the mall. They wasn't doing it right, and I kept telling Gennaro like, we could do this.
Yeah.
And he just didn't see the vision. So I got my lease because I built relationships. I was in the mall working with him for a year.
Okay.
And I built relationships with management. I got my lease. And this was at the time when my daughter was about to be born, so it was like really like sink or swim. So I literally opened the booth with nothing, and then we just started grinding. And we had some friction with the people that were selling mixtapes in the mall because of
that
course
competition.
They ain't like what was going on, so they tried to you know, like argue with us and all that. And the mall never liked them because they didn't do right with their success. And I sat back and I watched, you know, like how people, and it's like a little sidebar lesson to
No problem.
when you start experiencing success, you know, when God bless you with that, you shouldn't abuse it. You should do right by it. And I saw that, like they was getting their hair braided in the mall. They was playing their music, girls up there. It was a party. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't business.
Right,
and it was more of a party than it was business. And I saw that. So when they started having friction with us, like we was the nerds to everybody. Like these new kids, they ain't got shit. Like, and the mall was like, felt like that they was picking on us. So what ended up happening to where Press Play really got with the independent artists is the mall called the FBI and raided that booth. And they all went to jail and they canceled their lease. And I mean, anybody that remember, like I'm talking, like you hearing it now and it's like, oh, Jay just talking shit. No, it was agents and police in the mall. They took them out the mall. You know what I'm saying? So when that happened, we took all the mixtapes down because this was like around that time when DJ Drama got raided. And mixtapes was great. Like you couldn't really sell them like you was supposed to give them away. But shit, we was selling them. But we took them all down and we put up all local music. So people that was walking past, we didn't know this. We just did this because shit, we ain't want to have no problems with the police either because they came over to our booth. You know what I'm saying? I was in school though. I was still like wrapping up. Like I had like a few more classes and Dame had called me like, bro, they getting raided over here. Like this shit serious. So he took this was like a call on Dame, and you know that's why it's good to have people that really embrace what you do. So long story short, we didn't know that people that was walking past kept seeing like street lords. They kept seeing Mae West and Lodge Boys, and they just saw it and they ended up buying it. And that's what really took off with the local music, because at the time, like malls don't really mean nothing unless you're in Somerset. But at the time, having your CD in the mall was like real prestigious.
Yeah, major for sure.
Yeah, so after that happened, the Doughboys came, and when the Doughboys came, they already had a buzz, and that's when, you know, that really took Press Play to the next level, because what we found out was that these artists was building reputations in their community, in their hoods, and they would bring that energy to the mall, and they would bring it to us, and we would win because we selling their product.
Right, exactly.
So that's what really put me on the map in terms of, you know, really working with a lot of people in the city. You know, even shout out to Dave behind the camera. You know, he was doing the modeling. Like I do marketing, so I always reached out to. I knew we was working in the music field, but I wanted to reach out to photographers. I wanted to reach out to models. I wanted to reach out to promoters. So that would just kind of make our business even more powerful. So, and I wanted to build relationships with them. So, you know, like for example, with Dave doing Curvology, like I hit him up like, bro, I want to put all your models on the mixtapes, because he was putting it out, and that's how I built relationships with him and the models. So now I was working with both of them, and I just kept synergy with the business, and it took off, and you know everybody got paid. The artists we paid out over $600,000. The artists, we made over $2 million, and that was just, it was a blessing for everybody. So you know I was behind it, but oh damn, I was behind it.
Okay, we pop a tag.
We pop a tag. Hey, I have to get ready
Jay
for
say,
Pink,
listen,
baby.
this ain't
No,
new money.
I don't even be like this, but I have to get ready for Pink. But that was everybody. So for real, like I know y'all seeing me, but the city, you know, everybody contributed to Press Play. So shout out to the artists, shout out to Dame, shout out to all the people behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what made Press Play what it was.
It was, and it was definitely a classic, like a classic place to be in the mall. Like you couldn't go to the mall without passing by Press Play. You feel me? It was definitely a staple. And now looking back, it was a jewel, because back then we didn't know, right? It's like this is, you know, Press Play. We got all our, you know, local music. We got these mixtapes, but that really put a lot of people on the map. You feel me? And those who are already doing their things, it helped them out get the love from the city. You know? So for sure. So we're gonna jump from Press Play, because you have all these ventures. I want to talk about Motown Printing, right? So tell them all the services you provide with Motown Printing.
So just real quick, again, diversifying your business, and I'm gonna use y'all two as an example. Like you know, you do modeling, you do music, but you're using your relationships to do interviews now. Dave do photography, but he's doing interviews. That's what you got to do in this business. You gotta figure out ways to insert yourself and not only keep the culture moving forward, but keep your relationships and keep your business moving forward. So with printing, we was selling CDs, right? Like, y'all got to think back. Like, I know y'all got to dig in y'all damn head and think back to when Northland was popping, but people was buying music at $10, $15, and $20. And we was selling music so fast that we was getting frustrated because they would be like, I'm waiting on my CDs to get done. I'm waiting on my CDs to get done. And when I was selling CDs on the streets, I was making so much money that I bought printers and I was just fucking around, like printing CDs, just playing around.
Right.
And I had this experience, so I bought those same printers, and then I was in the mall networking, and I was talking to the Lodge boys, and I was like, we print CDs now, so I showed them like this little weak ass CD I printed.
Okay.
That nigga pulled out $1,000 and put it on the table and said, "You doing our second album?"
Look
and
at
walked
that.
away. And then I'm like, shit, I don't know nothing about CD covers.
Come on, but you
I don't
can learn,
know nothing
right?
about. So that's what got it started, where Motown Printing was born at that point, and we just started printing CDs, and it was really a necessity because now with us printing CDs, it helped with the artists selling their music.
Right.
So now you can come here and you can get your CDs sold, and you can get your CDs done by us. So I end up networking with graphic designers, and I just started printing stuff. And how it progressed, which was your question, but I wanted to get a backstory, is because people would ask, like, when you selling a CD, you need the cover done. You need the cover printed. So that's the service. So instead of me, bitching, I go in and found the designer. I went and found out how to get it done. Now you got that done, you need posters with your product. Okay, how do I make posters, or how do I get them printed? So then we started doing posters. I need flyers because I need to get the word out so they can come buy the CD to press play. So it just started, and you really got to listen to your, because I want to tell my story, but I also want to tell people, you got to listen to what people asking you. I need flyers done. That's a service. Even if you're making $15 profit from that, it's still money, and it's within your services. So just listening to what people asked, we just kept on progressing. And then when the malls went dead, I had the wherewithal to just know, like, yo, iTunes coming. It's time to let Press Play go. It's time, we had a great run. It's time to close it down. I just kept on continuing with the printing. And I had already built up like over 2,000 customers that we had at the time.
Wow.
So I build relationships with people. And that's like the strategy. So a lot of my customers even now are people that I've had relationships with, and they know what I do, and I don't force them. Like, even with Dave, you can ask him. I never asked him to do no printing. I never was like, bro, we cool, print for me. I never did it. But when we came in on this interview, one of the first things that he said was, I need some printing.
Come on,
that's because I talk about it, and I don't force that to people. And we got a relationship, so it's not like, now when he started printing, I can insert, nah, bro, you need to
right.
But I don't force it. I just talk about it. If you need it, you need it. If you don't, you don't. And that's how we built that business, Motown Printing. And, the city support us, and we get customers. We just printed for the Detroit Pistons. They found us on Google. They seen our work. So it be referrals, printing for Motown Records. We did some stuff for this. So when Chanel, she told me, once I get on, I'm bringing you with me. So we do a lot of printing for everybody. I still got all the same relationships with the same people that did music. And what's great about starting, this is another key for y'all, is when people starting and you believe in them, build a relationship, because if you doing a service, then they gonna come back and continue to do business with you. Like, dang, I remember Jay said he did printing. Now that I'm at Motown, I'm not about to change my people. I'm not gonna change up. I'm gonna still deal with the same people I've been dealing with. So that's how it progressed. I just get with people and not trying to build relationships for the wrong reasons, but I see where they going. They see where I'm going. We got something to offer each other. We need to stay in touch.
That's
and
real.
if you need me, I'm here for you.
Come on. And if you need me, I'm here. So that's how it should be. That's how it should be.
So that's Motown.
So Motown. But you also have a new baby. Well, she's not new. She's a little new. The Success Center. First of all, congratulations on that. You feel me? I'm so proud.
Let's take a little shot.
Oh, we gotta take a little shot. Okay, first we gotta toast. I got wine. Salute to health, more life, Success Center, and what's to come. Here we go. Oh, I gotta hit him with the You know how Martin used to do the little thing? Period. Okay. So yes, your new baby Success Center. She's beautiful and she's freaking huge. Okay. We have to talk about Success Center.
Yeah. So I have this building that I bought because just diversifying. You know, when you making money, then you want to do something with your money. It's nice to say, yo, you made $2 million over the course of 10 years, but what did you do with that money?
Yeah.
How did you did you put that money in the community? Did you blow it on cars? Did you buy watches, jewelry, whatever? But I invested, the profits that we made, and one of the buildings that I got was this warehouse that I found on Craigslist. My mom did real estate, my dad did real estate, my brother did real estate, so I bought it and then I leased it out. And after the lease was over with, I ended up selling my original office that was on 6 Mile where we was doing printing, and I moved back over there to the building and started remodeling it. And it was always called the Success Center. I had it since 2012, but I just leased it out. And when it was time to go back over there, I went back over there. So now we've been remodeling and getting it together, and it got its own challenges. It's 12,000 square feet. But it's been good. It's like 5 buildings in one. So we just been over there working, and all the businesses that we do, all the manufacturing that we do it out of that building. So that's yeah. That's the project, one of the new projects.
So you have these companies, but you also are into real estate, right?
Yeah.
So if I am someone who's interested in getting into real estate and I want to purchase my first home or my first property, what is some advice you would give them?
And on real estate, one of the things that I'm doing, I'm dropping a book too that y'all can check out. Just the strategies of real estate that's gonna talk about, how I got into it, what to do, how to, like you said, questions like that.
Yeah.
And what I would say, it's a lot of things that you can do. First, start with you and what you want to do. Buying real estate is great for investment purposes, but some people like to travel. We got a lot of millennials that don't want to be tied down to, real estate. But if you do, I suggest everybody should own at least one property. The property that you stay in or an investment property. It's just a good asset and a way to park your money and let your money grow. Evaluating where you at, seeing if it's something that you can afford, seeing if your affairs is in order, because sometimes, when you buying a property, let's say you buying something for $30,000, if you don't have that money to do it, and you just trying to force it, it's not going to be as successful as it would be if you got 20,000, you could put 10,000 down and you can make your payments, and you can really afford to do it. That it's gonna be some work with putting it together. It's just first starting out is knowing where you at, seeing what you can afford. Real estate is up right now, seeing where the market is, because a house that would be 30,000 is probably 60,000 right now. But it's a good place to put your money. Waiting. Looking for opportunities. I bought a lot of my real estate when the housing market had crashed, and now that COVID is going on, you're going to have, in the next year, a lot of people haven't been paying their bills, and it's unfortunate, but a lot of people going to lose their homes, a lot of people going to be evicted. It's going to be a big shift, and there's going to be an opportunity for you to buy real estate at a discount. That will be the time to buy, because you can get that same house that's cost 50 or 60 for 30,000, 40,000. And then you can work out a land contract. So I know, for some people it's kind of Spanish, but I'm at J Success, and you can ask me, because my book haven't dropped, and Pink I answer whatever questions, but just to kind of not go super deep into it, just knowing where you at and seeing if it's something that you can do. I wouldn't go out and suggest trying to buy like this. This is a big ass house we in right now. I wouldn't suggest, because Dave got this house, and you got 50,000 to put 40,000 just because you see what Dave doing, or I see what you doing, and I just want to kind of be in this neighborhood because you here. I would go after starting real small. That's the key right there. Start small. Start small.
And stay within your means.
We started Motown before we got to 12,000 square feet. We was at 300 square feet, and we got a whole bunch of offices. We bought buildings, we sold buildings, and we kept scaling up. And I'm sure, you know, y'all did the same thing with this house. I mean, maybe y'all didn't. Maybe y'all just came here and bought it. But I feel like, you know, when y'all looked, y'all might have started at a small house, then bought the next house, and then now we ready. And you comfortable here. You're not stressing. You able to afford this.
True.
So yeah.
So I have been interested in stock lately, right? And I'm like intrigued by it. So for those who kind of sort of know something about stock, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's help them out. If I want to get involved with a certain company and invest in that stock, like, what are the steps to take to even put yourself as a stock person? You feel me?
Yeah, I would research. I just got into stocks, but the market at the time, it was down and then it went up and then it shot back down again. And you know, I would say for stocks, like doing your research, doing a lot of reading, a lot of understanding. Anything that you do, you gotta marry it. And I feel like because we got the app on our phone and you might have some gains, you feel like you're an expert. You feel like just because you've been doing well for 6 months, you feel like you can offer stuff to people. Like all the shit that we doing, it all take a lot of time to perfect it. So just knowing that you might have that opportunity where you're gonna hit licks in the stock market, but over the long term, just marrying understanding stocks. Because if you just get in and you lose some money, you're gonna be discouraged. Like I know people that's down right now, 20,000, that's down 5,000, that's down 10,000, and these was the same people that was promoting buy stocks, do this, do that, just because you was winning. But now that the market is down, you don't have those same conversations that's going on. So I feel like that even in real estate, in stocks, in business, and whatever, modeling, photography, retail, printing, whatever it is that you're doing, like short term, you might get in that window where it's great. But those people in 2006 that bought a house for 500,000, and then in 2008 when the market crashed and their house went from being worth 550,000 to 150,000, like that's when the shit get real. You feel me? Somebody just invested $100,000 in the stock market, and then a week later that shit crashed and they portfolio worth 50,000. And if you marry that shit, then it's just like when you marrying a woman or whatever it is that you marrying, you know, you marry it to when something go wrong, they get fired from their job. It's not like I'm divorcing you. It's like, no, baby, we're gonna figure this out. We're gonna work this out. So with your spouse, it's the same attitude with business. You can't just get in and then when something get wrong, you're gonna panic. And so whatever it is that you're doing, just marry it and try to, you know, understand that it's gonna take time. Because if you don't, when stuff go wrong, which it will, then you're gonna be panicking. And we talking about money, you know, with a spouse, you still can kind of do that divorce and go do your own thing. But when people putting their money into something, that hurt way more. You got people that commit suicide and all type of stuff because they
financial problems,
and they thinking that because we talking about we made $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 that you winning, but you only winning for a short time. So that's my suggestion.
I like that. So you have all these wonderful business ventures, right? What do you want your legacy to be when you're gone?
One of the because it's a lot of them, but the one that I talk about the most is like I know I said earlier in the interview, like Schoolcraft was like where I started, but I was a kid. My real stomping grounds where I started to become a man is from Dexter Avenue. And in Detroit, for those that's watching that don't really know much about Detroit, Dexter, when you talk about Detroit, a lot of people talk about 7 Mile, they talk about 6 Mile, or they talk about 8 Mile, but really 7 Mile. On 7 Mile, I feel like that if I was a teen, I could walk business to business and I can find a job and kind of get a little money and figure shit out and build relationships, because there's so many black businesses that's on 7 Mile. But on Dexter, it was no businesses. It was no direction. People were selling crack. They still sell crack up the street from my crib. One of the things that I do is I try to pour into the youth and help out the youth with just that guidance, just that authentic mentor, because it's a lot of people that, you know, got a lot of clout on the internet, and it's hard to reach out to them. Like, they want you to buy their course, or they want you to support what they doing to kind of be affiliated and connected with them.
Yeah.
I want to have like relationships with people that came from somewhere similar to where I came from, and I can like help them out so that they got that guidance, because not having that guidance, it's super hard. You know, it's like, it's an advantage to have people that you can call, reach out, and ask for advice for certain shit. And I just didn't have that, so that's one of the things that I really want to do, because I know how hard it was to literally start from nothing and keep growing and still build. Like, this shit ain't over. Like, I still
you
got
still
a lot
are
of shit
building.
to
Yeah,
find.
you got the best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. Where do you see yourself in the next? I'm not gonna say 10. I'm gonna say 5. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Where do I see myself? Just be having a lot of goals, Pink. Like, I got some stuff on the floor right now that hopefully I'll be making a great announcement. But I got a lot of goals. Like, I want to visit like it was like, I think it's like 156 countries.
Wow.
I want to visit those. I got big goals. I want to do more online stuff, like telling my story, doing a good job of telling my story, and hearing other people's story, so that I can help out. I want to give all this game to people. I want Aquaholics to that's a beverage company that I have. I want that to be popping.
It will be.
So that's like the short list.
Okay. So you want to see all these goals you have manifest.
I want to drop a few books. For
you
sure.
have to, Jay.
Yeah,
yes, people need to know that knowledge, man. People need to know, because it's not that people don't have the drive or the ambition. They don't have the know-how. You see what I'm saying? Whether it is real estate or whether it is open up a business, like they don't know. So they need people who have paved the way, who have came from where you came from, you know, to be like, look, I did it. It's very possible for you to do it too, you know. So you definitely have to do that. Now we're gonna take it on a little lighter note.
Okay.
I want to know, who's Jay Success listening to when he's riding in his car or he vibing out? Who you listening to these days?
Damn.
Local or not local, just whoever you vibing with.
Yeah, my answer gonna suck, y'all, but I listen to a lot of podcasts. Music, I had Detroit, you know what I'm saying? Like, the home team, I was listening to a lot of Pay, Sada. I mean, everybody that's, you know, the whole playlist. You put on Sada, and then they go through Vez. I've been listening to Vez. But I really consume a lot of, I got a YouTube subscription, so I listen to a lot of, like, Onion Leisure, Wall Street Trapper. I listen to a lot of podcasts because I've been on this journey. I lost my mom, and I ain't trying to turn it down. But I'm just saying, like, through that journey, it's been more improve thyself, know thyself. So I've been working on just being the best person that I can be.
Yeah.
So mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. So a lot of that come from me being in the car a lot. So I try to put on things that I can, any jewels that I can grab to make me better. But, you know, when it's time to, when you feeling good, you get that car, you know, you make 5,000 to 10, and you throw on some Detroit shit so you can, you know, relate the payroll when you like, I got 50 on my wrist, you know what I'm saying?
Shout out to the Doughboy, shout out to Sada, shout out to Vez, all of the Detroit
when I want to turn
legends.
up, I'm putting Detroit, you know what I'm saying? I'm putting Detroit on in my car.
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so proud of you, man. I'm so proud of you. Keep doing what you're doing. And I appreciate you so much for taking your time, for sharing your energy. And we're definitely going to tap back in with each other. But before we wrap up, I need you to look at the people, and I need you to leave them with a jewel, a J Success jewel.
First, thank y'all, everybody, for the opportunity. It's great whenever I can share my story. And I would just say, you know, start small. A lot of us, we really don't have much. You know, like, if you look at the wealth gap, like, it's no predominantly black-owned businesses on the Fortune 500. We got a lot of entertainers that's doing a lot of great things, but we have a lot of other people that are doing great things as well. And I think that starting off small and just understanding that generational wealth is important. You know, a lot of people that we look at that have some level of success, you know, they buying a lot of labels, they buying Bentleys, and they buying Rolls Royces. And I feel like, you know, just pushing the envelope with saying this, that we should still focus on generational wealth, because we have to be the sacrifice. You know, I'm being the sacrifice for my family so that it's a lot easier when you have financials and positioning, when you could just make a call and I can say, hey Pink, when your daughter get older, we got a job for her at Aquaholics, and it's no problem. She can be an executive when she finished school, and you just got 100 people around you that got positioning like that. And that's what a lot of other cultures have. They have that, and we don't. And we're achieving a lot, and we're seeing a lot. But I think that we need to double down, and instead of maybe buying that Bentley, you know, buy that Bentley when you 40, 50, but have them M's in the bank, have that position in the bank, have that company in the bank, so that you know that we can cycle and keep on leveling up. So I just don't want us to celebrate success too soon.
Yeah.
So if you winning, it's cool to win. You know, I drop down. You know what I'm saying? I understand, but we got to keep that in the forefront of our mind, that we have to be that sacrifice, so that when our kids looking at this shit, they're like, man, I'm glad that they made these sacrifices, because we up. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. For sure. That was beautiful, man. Pounder, my brother. I love you and I appreciate you. For sure. Thank you all for tuning in. Stay tuned for the next Hustle and Vibes.